So very recently, I asked you guys to trauma dump through an anonymous link that I put up on my stories, and oh my god, did you guys trauma dump. In this video, I'm going to be reading out some of the wildest stories that you've shared with me when it comes to your boyfriends, your girlfriends, dates, and all that good spicy stuff. So if you do enjoy this video, make sure to like this video, comment down your wildest stories as well, and don't forget to check out my Instagram, my TikTok, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. That was a very long intro, so let's get into all of this goodness. So I've got my first one here. So I met a guy, we were doing long distance. He would keep complaining that I don't send pictures of myself enough because I was really insecure about myself, so I wouldn't send. He said he'd leave me if I kept doing that, and he actually stopped talking for a while, and I tried so hard to get comfortable in my skin. Eventually I did, and did send him pictures, a lot of them. Then he said he'll leave because I don't send him gym pictures while he sends me his. Eventually I got comfortable with that and sent them too. Things were okay for a while, and then he was mad that he sends me pics and that I don't, and that he always feels like a groomer for always asking. First of all, if you feel like a groomer for always asking, then stop asking. Simple. If my mom sees this, she's actually going to be really mad that I'm even addressing stuff like this, because no. Simply no. Someone that you met long distance, I wouldn't say red flag, but I think be cautious. You do not know who this person is. None of that. You don't know anything. Second, never, ever trust someone with these kind of things. Like, please don't. What if you make it big someday? What if you are known? And what if all of those things happen and people have access to such things? No freaking way in hell should you do that. My ex cheated on me with my co-worker who worked the same shifts with me and would message both of us simultaneously. When I found out, he blamed me for my hysterical reaction, left the narcissist, and never looked back. I have a very similar story. This dude who played me with a couple of other women. So one of the people that he played me along with was someone that I was working with. I used to see him text her, but they had some kind of connection even from before, so I didn't really suspect it. But I remember I used to see his texts and think, oh wow, he texts her quite a lot. Whatever, I'm done. I'm so glad that it's over. Next one. Brought me over to his place and forced me to waltz with him. It was so awkward. I hope nobody goes through this trauma again. Just hearing that made me want to disappear into thin air, because I'm pretty awkward on first dates in general, and if someone asked me to waltz with them and dance with them, I would actually die. I'm so glad that didn't happen with me. I feel sad for this girl. Boy asked me out for dinner and I was extra the way I dressed out. Turned out we just ate in McDonald's, and worst is when we were at the counter, he told me, how much is the total of my bill? The cashier laughed at me and I was embarrassed, and I ended up paying the whole bill. I let my friend rescue me after. This is the biggest ick that I get. You ask someone out for dinner and you don't get the bill. You can split bills eventually in a relationship. That I think is necessary, and that is a good thing to do, so that you also have that kind of contribution to the relationship. But on a first date, you take someone to McDonald's. This is disgusting. Please never ever settle for this kind of shit. Disgusting. Also, adding to this, one of my really good friends who is very pretty, very popular, all of that stuff, she was dating this one guy a couple of months ago, and he told her, oh, I'm going to take you out somewhere, and she dressed up the same way as well, put a lot of effort, wore this nice little dress, and he didn't tell her where he was taking her. And when they reached, he ended up taking her to Magic Planet. Magic Planet. She is 25. I'm not saying that's not a cute date. It can be a cute date when you know the person and then you're comfortable and you want to get to know them a little bit more. The main point of that is he was cheating, by the way, which is what makes the Magic Planet a horrible thing. If he was completely loyal, completely committed, and actually had a really good heart, Magic Planet is completely fine. I don't see anything wrong in it. But it's just that adding that cheating into mixture, and then there's Magic Planet. It's like you want to play multiple women and you don't want to pay. Next one. Went out on 2 dates with a guy and then he ghosted me for 5 months because he was hooking up with 2 girls. Later comes back and says he's in love with me. I didn't commit and went out with another guy on my birthday because I had a crush on him for long. He said I betrayed him because he loved me. My ex was the same. This might just be one of the girls that he played. At this stage, I don't even know. Was seeing a guy in campus. After a few months, he started talking to different girls. Gaslit me into thinking I'm just imagining stuff. Found out he was hooking up with this person. She didn't know about me and apologized to me. So his record was total of 4 girls in 2 years. I'm sorry, but is this one of the girls that my ex screwed around with? Because why do all of these stories seem so similar? I was in a situationship with a grandiose narcissist. He kept me hooked on him with inconsistent attention, and he had discussed that he would marry me. Then when I found out something was wrong with him, I ran away as far as I could. Now I started learning about boundaries, and I'm glad this happened. Listen, I'm really sorry to keep saying, oh my god, my ex did this, oh my ex did that. It's just true. My ex did the same thing of like talking about marriage. Next one. He showed me this well-worded English message on his WhatsApp from his mom, which was meant for me. I always had my doubts about started. I later found out that he asked his friend to send him that message and saved his friend's contact as his mom's with her DP. Like, what was the need? Never asked for it. Manipulation. Whenever you ask a question of what was the need, manipulation is the answer. manipulation. Manipulation. Next one. Got pursued by a man. He took me out to fancy places, bought me nice things, called me every night, would meet me for breakfast every morning, and after a month, when I told him I liked him back, he left. And a month after that, I found out he was married the whole time. And I still feel so hurt. I would give my 2 cents. But what can I say? If someone is taking you out to fancy places, getting you things, calling you, meeting you, how can you not fall for it? I would fall for it. In my previous relationship of more than a year, my ex once confessed that he's in love with another girl, but he doesn't want to leave me either, and politely asked me if he can date 2 girls at once. The bar is so low that the first thought I had was, that's kind of sweet. She said he politely asked me, so I literally thought, oh, that's sweet. Next one. I went on a date and the girl also brought her mum for interrogation purposes. At this stage, I would do that. Not just my mum, I would bring my girlfriends. Made long distance work for years to watch him slowly fall in love with his new best friend. Gaslit me about it. While I was out here hustling and building a home for both of us because he kept losing at life. Was ready to be disowned for him while he couldn't say bye to his mama for 2 weeks. Do not date guys who don't have their future set in place. And I don't mean that, don't date guys who are struggling. No. That is all fine. It is fine to be struggling. It is fine to be doing all of those things because I was struggling too. I still am to an extent. But the kind of guys who don't value their future, who don't value their job, who don't value building and sustaining a career for themselves, they're so lost in life, and it shows their approach to commitment. It shows their approach to life. Trust me, you need to be with a guy who takes his life seriously. That's all it is. Long distance. I let him tell his friends that he helped me with my thesis. I'm a thesis topper, by the way. When in real life, I did all the work and had paid him for this graphic design gig I picked up during my thesis, thinking he would help me. You know what happened? I paid him to boast. You paid him. Stop it. What do I say? Next one. His mom asked me to give my ex more money for the work he doesn't do. Also, his mom asked me to ask my dad if they could buy their property so the property stays inside the family. His mom asked me to give my ex more money. I'm sorry, some answers do not need my reaction because of how absurd the answer itself is, like how absurd the trauma is. So I'm just gonna let this woman have her spotlight. My friend asked me if I'm still dating the guy because he had messaged her to go out on a date with him and had told her that we broke up while I was dressed up and ready to go meet him for dinner. Had a friend who I considered a very close and good friend mentioned that I wasn't interested in him romantically. He gets mad and pulls an entire drama scene because I went out with some friends. Also turned out he checked my messages on my phone when I wasn't there. Psychotic. This is psycho behavior, which would have gotten worse if you stayed with him. Glad you're out. Next, I have double dated 2 people at the same time to keep my friendship and my love, and now have lost both. But I found another person that I love unconditionally who cheated on me. So I feel like it's quite a funny story. Karma is real. I'm glad you take accountability for it, and I'm glad it happened to you because cheating is a horrible thing to do, but I'm glad you take accountability for what's happened. This boy who spent a whole year begging me to date him asked me out 7 times and I finally said yes on the 8th. Had the audacity to cheat on me with his brother's ex. I only found out months after we broke up because 2 weeks into being with me, he said that I was affecting his mental health. What can we even say to this shit, man? Long story short, dated this girl for 3 years, broke up because we had our differences and shit was getting hella toxic. Couple of months later, I find out that she had been cheating on me and has then started hooking up with one of my best friends. Not in touch with either of them anymore. Duh. Good on you. Dump her. This does not apply to just men, by the way, this whole cheating thing. Women cheat as well. And I feel like sometimes when they cheat, they can be a lot more toxic. I do believe women can be more toxic. I was 19 and a proud nerd. He was 21, model, and couldn't really hold a conversation. Dated for 4 months and we both got bored of each other but couldn't break up. So I said, if you don't reply to my text by 12 noon, we're done. He replied at 12:05 and said, oh shit, that's it, we never spoke again. He replied at 12:05. So he actually waited till it was 12:05 to say, oh shit. Next one. My ex broke up with me in the early days of our relationship because he took advice from one of his dimwit friends that said, if she really loves you, see how she'll react when you leave her. Never again will I deal with such shit again. What the f? I had a 1.5 year relationship with a guy and he ended it over text after I said I was on the brink of depression. I had the biggest epiphany when he reacted so poorly that I was so relieved to get rid of the Satan man. For context, I've never had any mental health issues and was contemplating self-harm. This is the example of when something horrible happens that you feel so grateful because I can finally leave this relationship. Because usually what happens is when a relationship is like mediocre, that is when you get stuck. So the fact that he reacted so poorly and it gave this person the pass to like, oh, this relationship, I get that completely. Next one. Went on a second date with a guy I met online, was taken to a really crowded pub after changing dinner plans. I left early after he tried to make a move and asked repeatedly if he could bite me. Why? Why does he want to bite you? I'm so confused at this story. Why? So I was healing from a trauma a boy gave me, and my boy best friend used to be there with me all the time, taking care of me like fuck. It reached a point where I started feeling like he was catching feelings for me. Then he started to flirt with me, but I took it as a joke. But then he was trying so hard that even though I was still in my grieving stage, I thought he could fix me, but I could never see him more than a best friend. And when I started to catch feelings, he started playing me and at the exact time ghosted me and got into a new relationship. So yep, the depression got worse. I completely get you, especially when it's your best friend who you think knows you the most and would never play you and who's always honest. It hurts a lot more because you think you know this person. Yeah, cheated on me with his best friend. Funny part is the best friend figured out the double dating first, and after I broke up with him, she continued to date him because I was out of the way. The even funnier part is that he found a way to cheat on her, and then she broke up. I mean, it's funny but traumatizing. Cheaters never change. He dumped me because of my skin tone. He was fair and I am a dusky girl. Not sure why he liked me in the first place though. I want to see a picture of this guy. Is he fit? Does he have good, thick hair on his head? Is he rich? Is he financially, stable? Does he have a great job? Does he have six-pack abs? Is he bulked up? If he's none of those things, he can shut the up. So dumb. Was in a relationship with this guy for 2 years. Like any other brown parents, they got him married forcefully. Then he said he will give a kid to his wife and leave her here and marry me in another country. What? Like he literally told her that, oh, I'm just gonna get my wife pregnant and just leave her there. Is that how simple it is? Is that how simple their brain is? And with that, we have come to an end of part 1 of this series. What do you guys think of this? Do you think it's fun? Do you think it's interesting? Do you want to see more of this? Because if yes, make sure to comment down what you want to see next and I will cover that. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and thank you so much for watching my video.